Look at the sun. It hangs in the sky, a blinding golden disk. To us, it looks like a god, eternal, unchanging, a monolith of fire that has watched over every moment of human history. We assume it will always be there. We assume the stars are the permanent wallpaper of the night. But this is a lie. The stars are not rocks. They are fires. And like every fire that has ever burned, they require fuel. And eventually, the fuel runs out. Our sun is not a god. It is a burning match thrown into a dark room. And we are just huddled around it, terrified of the moment it goes out. Astronomers have a name for the time we are living in. They call it the Stelliferous Era, the siege of stars. It is a time when the universe is rich with hydrogen. It is a time when gravity can pull gas together to ignite nuclear fusion. It is the only time in the history of the cosmos when life is possible. It is the only time when there is heat, light, and energy. We think this is normal. We think a universe filled with light is the default state of existence. But it is not. We are living in a rare, temporary anomaly. We are the children of a very brief summer. To understand how brief, we must look at the timeline. Imagine the entire lifespan of the universe, from the Big Bang to the final heat death, is a single 24-hour day. On that scale, the Stelliferous Era, the entire history of all stars burning, does not last for an hour. It does not last for a minute. It lasts for a fraction of a second. We are living in the flash of a camera bulb. Before us was the darkness of the Big Bang. After us is the darkness of the void. We exist in the split-second flash of light in the middle. What is killing the stars? It is a fundamental law of physics, the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy. Nature demands attacks. Every time a star shines, it is converting order into disorder. It is taking concentrated energy and spreading it out into the cold uselessness of space. You cannot reverse this process. You cannot put the light back into the sun. Every second that passes, the universe becomes a little more disorganized, a little colder, a little more dead. Entropy is the arrow of time, and it only points in one direction. The universe started with a fixed inventory. There is only so much hydrogen in the cosmos. There are no gas stations in the void. There is no way to refill the tank. Every new star that is born is smaller and dimmer than the ones before it because the material is running out. We are burning through our inheritance at a breakneck speed. Right now, the galaxy is bright. The party is in full swing. But if you look closely at the corners of the room, the lights are already starting to dim. The great winter is coming. The first casualty of this process will be us. In roughly 5 billion years, our sun will exhaust the hydrogen in its core. It will lose its balance. It will no longer be the steady golden companion we know today. It will swell into a red giant. It will grow so large that it will consume the orbit of Mercury, then Venus, and finally, it will reach for Earth. The oceans will boil away. The mountains will melt into glass. The sky will be nothing but a wall of fire. The cradle of humanity will be incinerated by the very star that gave it life. It is a violent end, but in the cosmic scale, it is barely a footnote. While our solar system dies, our galaxy is preparing for war. The Milky Way is currently on a collision course with our neighbor, Andromeda. They are rushing toward each other at 250,000 miles per hour. When they meet, it will not be a crash. It will be a dance. The two galaxies will pass through each other, their gravity tearing apart spiral arms and flinging stars into the void. The night sky will change forever. The orderly strip of the Milky Way will be replaced by a chaotic haze of new stars. The two galaxies will merge to form a new massive elliptical galaxy. Milkdromeda, a final giant fortress of light. But this merger is a last gasp, a temporary spike in activity, because the universe has a problem efficiency. When a star dies, it recycles some of its gas back into the galaxy to make new stars. but not all of it. Much of the gas is trapped in dead remnants, white dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes. The universe is locking away its fuel. With every generation, there is less gas to build with. The great stellar nurseries, the pillars of creation, the Orion Nebula will go dark. The star formation rate will drop to 0. The closed sign will hang over the galaxy. No new stars will be born. We will have to make do with the ones we have left. The massive blue and yellow stars, the celebrities of the sky, will be the first to die. They burn their fuel fast and die young. But there is another kind of star, small, dim, cool. The red dwarf. Getty Images. These stars are misers. They sip their hydrogen fuel so slowly that they can live for trillions of years. Long after the sun is dead, long after the Milky Way is dim, these faint red embers will still be glowing. They will be the only light left in the universe. Any civilization surviving in this era will have to huddle close to them for warmth, living on planets tidally locked in a permanent twilight. But even the red dwarfs must eventually retire. And there will come a day, a specific date, in the future history of the cosmos, when the very last massive star dies. It will be the final firework. The last time the universe sees a supernova explosion. The last time a shockwave ripples through the dark. When that light fades, the era of excitement is over. The universe will never be loud again. It will settle into a long, cold silence that will last forever. Fast forward, past the death of the sun, past the collision of the galaxies. Go forward 100 trillion years. This is the end of the Stelliferous era. The red dwarfs, those final, faithful embers, have exhausted their fuel. One by one, they flicker and die. When the last red dwarf cools into a black cinder, the universe will go dark, and it will never ever light up again. There are no more gas clouds, no more fusion, just an endless crushing blackness. If you were an astronaut floating in space in this era, you could look in every direction for 1 billion years and never see a single point of light. Scientists call this new age the degenerate era. It is a fitting name. The universe is now a scrapyard. It is populated only by the corpses of stars, white dwarfs, neutron stars, black holes, brown dwarfs. They do not shine. They simply drift. Occasionally, 2 of them might collide, creating a brief flash of gamma rays, a ghost of the old fire before fading back into the dark. It is a zombie universe. Dead things moving through the void, waiting for an end that refuses to come. Even the galaxies themselves will die. Without the light of stars, a galaxy is just a swarm of heavy dead objects swirling in the dark. Over time, gravity plays a cruel game. Dead stars will pass too close to one another. One will be captured by the central black hole. The other will be flung out into the void. This happens over and over again, for eons. Eventually, almost every dead star will be ejected from the galaxy. They will drift off into the empty space between galaxies. Total, absolute isolation. Imagine drifting alone in a container that is infinite, with no hope of ever encountering another object. But the matter itself is not safe. We tend to think of atoms as eternal. We think that protons and neutrons, the building blocks of you, me, and the planets are indestructible diamonds. But physics suggests a terrifying possibility: proton decay. Theory suggests that protons are not stable. Over incredibly vast timescales, years with so many zeros, you would need a library to write them down. Protons will simply fall apart. They will decay into lighter particles and radiation. The very foundation of reality is soluble. This is the ultimate betrayal of the universe. It means that nothing can last. Not just biology, not just cities, matter itself. The dead planets will dissolve into dust. The white dwarfs will crumble into radiation. The dust will evaporate into nothingness. If humanity carved a monument into a mountain of solid diamond to say we were here, Proton decay ensures that eventually the mountain will vanish, the diamond will vanish, the memory will vanish. The physical universe is erasing its own hard drive. When the matter is gone, only the monsters remain. After the protons decay, the universe will enter the black hole era. The dark energy has pushed the galaxies apart so far that every black hole is alone in its own observable universe. They are the final kings of a dead empire. They float in the silence, massive and monolithic. There is nothing left to eat. No gas, no stars, no planets. They just sit there, curving space and time around them, holding on to the last gravity the universe has left. But even monsters must die. Stephen Hawking taught us that black holes are not truly black. They glow, faintly. They leak radiation into the void. They are slowly, agonizingly evaporating. It is a process that takes an amount of time we cannot comprehend. A Google years, a 1 followed by 100 zeros. Imagine an hourglass, but it only drops 1 grain of sand every billion years. Eventually the sand runs out. As the black holes get smaller, they get hotter, and in their final moments, they explode. A last tiny pop of light in the infinite dark. And then, the dark era. The last black hole explodes. The last structure in reality vanishes. All that is left is a sea of photons slowly cooling toward absolute zero. The expansion of the universe stretches them until they are nothing. This is the state of maximum entropy. It is a state of perfect equilibrium. Nothing moves. Nothing changes. Time becomes meaningless because there are no events to mark its passing. The story of the universe is finished. The book is closed. Forever. It is a terrifying vision. It makes us feel small. It makes our lives feel pointless. But it should do the opposite. Think about gold. Why is gold valuable? Because it is rare. If the entire earth were made of gold, it would be as cheap as dirt. Scarcity creates value. The fact that the Stelliferous era, the era of life, light, and warmth, is so short is exactly what makes it precious. If the universe lasted forever, our time would mean nothing. But because we are living in the single fleeting flash of light between 2 eternal darknesses, our time means everything. So tonight, go outside. Look up. Look at the stars. Do not take them for granted. They are not permanent fixtures. They are dying fires. They are fighting the darkness for you. We are the universe's only chance to be warm. We are the universe's only chance to wonder. We are the spark. So burn bright before the night closes in. End of transmission.